What's the most insulting gift you've ever received? Serious. My mom always buys me clothes. More specifically shirts from Target or Goodwill. For every gift. Even though, I tell her I have too many clothes. I've been trying to get rid of clothes. I don't want or need any more clothes. B. She always buys me sizes XL and up even though I'm a comfortable SM. And then when I tell her it's too big, she always says, "Shocked. I thought it would fit." And occasionally even at that she thought I was chubbier than that. This is all too relatable. That's so terrible of your mother to do that. Especially if it has led to any body image issues. I used to be overweight as a child and it completely crushed my self-esteem whenever relatives sent me tent size clothes. Even though I simultaneously lost about 30 pounds and hit a growth spurt between 5th and 6th grade. Which placed my BMI in the normal range. My relatives continued to send me XL and XXL size shirts meant for older adults while my other cousins received clothes that were actually size and age appropriate. That is why I have a hard no clothes rule when it comes to gifts. 1 month after I started growing a beard, a wide variety of shavers for Christmas. One from each family member. 2 electric ones. A lot of manual ones. Razors. And other stuff. I could just open shaving museum with all this collection. Knowing that I'll never get the chance to use them. I'm sure you've already dealt with the unwanted items in your own way. But I'm gonna throw this out for anyone else that may have this happen. If you suddenly find yourself gifted with a ton of unwanted toiletries and other personal hygiene products, especially shaving items, consider donating them to a homeless shelter. You could make someone's day just by giving them the chance to shave and look presentable. My dad's third wife got me a book about manners. I used it to level her coffee table the same day. She re-gifted it to me at least 5 other times. I found a way to put it back in her house every time. When I was in 16, my dad insisted on me paying $1,000 a month rent. After a while I moved out BC. I found cheaper rent. For my birthday he sent me a card that said, "You don't owe me rent for the time you have been gone," with a happy face on it. Felt like a slap in the face. Making you pay $1,000 rent at 16? That's rough, buddy. I have alopecia, which is when your hair falls out in random patches on your body. It got to the point that I had to shave my hair because I had bald spots on the top of my head. Having a bald head as a little girl was tough. I opted out of wearing hats or abandoned it because I felt dumb covering it up when everyone could already tell I was bald. My grandmother would always force me to wear hats when I came over to her house. She would always say stuff like, "Little girls aren't supposed to look like that. Cover up." It hurt, but I ignored it and put the hats on. I was super quiet as a kid and didn't make a fuss. For my birthday my grandma bought me 3 different kinds of hats. I remember sitting there wanting to cry the whole time after opening her gift, but I just sat there quiet. Honestly, those 3 hats ruined my entire 9th birthday. I felt so ugly. What a horrid, ugly old woman. There's a woman at a local shop who utterly rocks her bald head. The first time I saw her after getting her advice about a makeup product, I told her how utterly badass and gorgeous she was. She was so happy to hear that. Apparently not many people compliment her look. She's a total star. And I'm sure you are as well. When I was 12, my parents gave me a snow shovel as a Christmas gift. One of my chores was shoveling the driveway, and I used to complain that our old shovel was bent and rusted. Big mistake. I have a similar story. One Christmas, there was no snow, so I got a rake and was told to go clean up the yard. Lol. Oh man. My sister is the queen of horrible gifts. From her, I've gotten used hiking boots. One size too small. Missing a shoelace. I don't hike. Old Smurf stuffed animal. Used. Missing an eye because I like Smurfs. I don't. She bragged she washed it first since she got it at a Goodwill. A basket of soap and shampoo samples from various hotels she had visited. Her old sewing basket since she bought herself a new one. A weird random box mailed to me with old Happy Meal toys and a broken ornament and old bookmark. A care package mailed to me with muffins she had made that were obviously a mistake recipe. They tasted horrid, like she used salt instead of sugar. And the kicker, Our dad died in April right before my college graduation in May. When we divided up his things, she took his old beat up briefcase that was permanently locked. We didn't know the combination. A month later she gave it to me as my graduation gift. To answer the questions that are forthcoming, I have no idea why she does this. It's caused me to have great distance from her. We basically don't talk or see each other. We occasionally text as she has 2 boys who are my only nephews. We don't live in the same state. We are both now in our 40s, and yes, every year for Christmas and my birthday, I get another package of stupid useless from her. My mom's family used to do a secret Santa every Christmas. The year after my parents got divorced, my aunt and uncle got me and my brother. We got 2 of their kids. They stopped at a gas station on the way down and bought us gas station novelty-ish. Like the first things they saw. They wrapped them in the bags they came in along with the receipts. And basically just tossed them at us when it was their turn. It was dead silent. And profoundly awkward. Most of my mom's family really dislikes this part of the family. And there was a significant amount of shade thrown non-verbally. So we took it in stride because we aren't total sacks of crap. And proceeded to give their kids the gifts we got them. When this was met with significantly less awkward tension, which my aunt and uncle noticed and couldn't suffer. So they said, and I quote, "Well, they're Jewish, so they don't even celebrate this holiday. And they aren't even really a part of the family anymore. So why would we spend any money on their gifts?" There was a gift minimum and maximum at like $20. The fun was finding a funny, interesting gift. No one was expected to get anyone something crazy. We're Irish Catholic, there are like 30 of us. Later they tried to say they know we'd cheap out on the gifts and that's why they did it. Then they made their kids cry by making them leave what we'd gotten them at my grandmother's. Yeah, so we don't do that anymore, and they get invited to like one family event per year, which is my grandmother's birthday. My now estranged father offered to take me clothes shopping for my birthday. We went to an outlet store and I proceeded to have fun the way a 20-something girl has fun shopping for clothes while he sulked in a corner the whole time. The next day, at my party with our whole family, he gave me a birthday card in which he referred to me as a bee and a princess, in reference to how he thought I acted while on the shopping trip that he suggested in the first place. When I hadn't lost all my baby weight 6 months after childbirth, my mother-in-law gave me a plastic pig magnet for the refrigerator. It oinked every time you opened the door. My grandma got me diet pills. I threw them in the trash. My grandma once gave me cutout magazine articles about losing weight when I was 14 or 15. I wasn't fat. Also, grandma, doctors don't prescribe amphetamines anymore. When I was in high school, my mom got me a shirt that made fun of my ADD. It referenced chickens. She then proceeded to buy chicken related things for the next few years, and to this day points out anything related to chickens like it's some kind of inside joke. It didn't really bother me at first, but after nearly a decade now it honestly hurts my feelings. I started working evenings, so my husband started having to make dinners. My mill got me a magnet for the fridge that said I'm too pretty to cook. A guy once thought he could ask me out by giving me money. Like just a bunch of random bills. Probably about $15 in total. He said it was better than a gift card. I said no to him asking me out. I feel like if you're gonna bribe someone into going on a date with you, the bribe should at least be higher. $15 is just insulting. Literally nothing. One year the only thing I got at my dad's family Christmas was a Bop It. Meanwhile my cousins each got like 6 gifts each, and I had to watch them open them and try not to cry. I was like 8. The family got chewed out by my grandmother afterwards, and things got better afterwards. My mom bought me a book that's a guide to basically being okay with dying alone. I'm 18 BTW. Give it back to her and let her know that she may need it if she keeps that up. My family was living overseas, and this was the first time in our lives to spend the holidays away from relatives. My aunt sent us this big box during December. Naturally we all assumed Christmas gifts. We opened the box and it was old clothes. Like really old clothes. Many of which wouldn't fit. were not washed, and some were items like socks and underwear. My aunt thought we wouldn't mind the hand-me-down from her own kids. They weren't even packed properly. It was just thrown in a box haphazardly. My mom was pissed for us. Threw the entire thing away. And still gives my aunt about it to this day. My divorced parents, independently, with no contact with each other, gave me an Ono, a hair removal device, and an offer for laser hair removal. Without ever talking to me about my body hair before. And in front of everybody. I've been made fun of for my dark body hair all my life, and dealt with people pointing out that I've missed a spot. So it especially was embarrassing when I never asked for either of those things. I had gone to college with a music scholarship. Spent my entire life working to make it in a specific part of the music industry only because my adopted parents told me that was the only way I'd ever get to have a higher education. Forced myself to work in an art that I slowly started to hate because I was not in it for passion but because of a lie that was the only job I could ever have. I broke down and was not able to finish my education when I could have because the pressure killed my ability. After a long 2 years of me uprooting and redirecting my life, my birth father, who knew all of this, gave me an instrument and music and told me that I should start with this instrument that he wanted me to play. I never knew I could be so insulted by being given something. But the icing on the cake was he got angry when a year later I had to sell it because I had to move to a smaller place. Had no money. And he refused to take it back. He wanted me to play it even though I had no interest and was still very sore about the whole situation. He didn't care. He wanted me to play his instrument because it was unfair that I learned what my parents wanted instead of my true blood. I got no birthday present from my ex. For context, her birthday was about 2 weeks before mine and I spent at least $50 on gifts and almost $100 on dinner. It isn't about the money. But I did put a lot of thought into both the presents and where we went for dinner. Then any time after the fact when I brought up that she still hadn't gotten me a present, she would cry and make excuses and make me feel bad. No. I did not break up with her because she never got me a birthday present. But it was contributing factor and symptomatic of larger problem she had. Not so much the gift, but the way it was given. When I was going through my divorce, I went home for Christmas. My aunt gave me a pair of pajamas, which I tried on and found a couple sizes too small. I went to my aunt and told her the pajamas were nice, but unfortunately too small. Usually when we buy the wrong size, my relatives and I are more than happy to return or exchange. Well, you'll have to lose weight, my aunt said to me. She'd bought them on clearance in January and couldn't take them back. And instead of saying, you know, oh, shoot, I'm sorry about that, or literally anything a normal person might say, she tells my sad pathetic divorcee that I have to lose weight.